And that's what I want to get across more than anything, is that there's hope for you. You don't have to suffer. You're not going to suffer forever. My name's Josh. I'm here to share with you my story of how I had long COVID and how I recovered from it. And my hopes is that it will help you if you're struggling with long COVID. I know it's not fun because I went through it. And so you've probably tried a lot of things. You're looking for some hope and some inspiration. So I'm going to share that with you. And hopefully you will get something from my experience. I'm going to share some tips with you and some things that helped me recover from long COVID in 4 months. A lot of the people that I was hearing from and watching, it took them like a year or more to recover. So I think I have some important things on the topic. And I wanted to apologize to those of you who are having a difficult time watching screens or listening to audio, because I know that was a lot of people struggle with that, and that was part of my thing as well too. So hopefully you can get through this. I'm gonna try to be as calm and reassuring as possible so that can maybe help a little. I know that's tough, but let me start with what I went through and share a little bit of my experience with long COVID. So I flew on a plane up to New York. I'm in Florida right now. And I flew to New York, and then I remember the first thing is I felt really weird. I had bad vertigo, and that's never happened to me before. And I just was off for like 2 days. Then I was fine, whatever. So 5 days later, I flew back to Florida, and I had got COVID like within a day or two. I don't know where I got it from, but I had COVID, right? I got really sick, and it reminded me the first time I had COVID. This was the second time. And I had COVID. I got a test and it was positive, whatever. So I had COVID. I was sick for like 6 days, and I bounced back. I thought I was completely recovered. So I went back to work, went back to working out. I went back to my busy, hectic life. I was running, I had a lot of stress at my job. I was just running around wearing a million different hats. I was like, no, I'm fine. I'm raw vegan. I'm really healthy. I have tons of energy. I'm fine. Like I kept pushing it down. And then all of a sudden, like a week or two later, I just crashed. Like everything, what happened was my adrenaline spiraled out of control. And I had this massive stress filled event that was like this adrenaline rush, like fight or flight response that wouldn't stop. Like typically if you have an adrenaline spike, you feel it for like, I don't know, a few seconds to a few minutes. And then it goes back down and you're fine. But this lasted for hours. It was horrible. I was freaking out. I didn't know what was going on. And I was, sit down with my hand in my head. I was like, oh my God, what's going on? My breathing. And then, so the symptoms kept changing and morphing. This is like a key sign that it wasn't my actual physical body, that it was actually my nervous system. So trying to get that across to you guys that this is like, what happens in long COVID typically is that the nervous system falls out of balance. And so there's a nervous system irregulation. So I'm going to share with you how to get your nervous system back into regulation. But anyway, I was suffering for a long time. I didn't know what was going on. I had no idea. I didn't connect the dots. So of course I went, I went to YouTube to look for answers, and I found solutions there. I found amazing channels like Raylan Eagle's channel is amazing. I'm going to link it in. She's so incredible. Her channel helped me out so much. Like, I'm so grateful to her. She's incredible too. Her story is awesome. But I had really bad symptoms. Like, it was the breathing for me. Like, I literally felt that my lungs were structurally damaged, like from COVID. Like, they were so bad. I kept having these shortness of breath. Like, I felt like I couldn't breathe. And like, I was walking like to the bus stop, and I would like after work, and I just would all of a sudden and it would go like I would get it, and then I would and then I would be fine for like a week, and then all of a sudden I would crash again. I didn't understand. I thought like I was like, and I just kept thinking to myself that I was dying because I kept thinking everything I was doing to combat it. Like, I spent all this time and energy and money on herbs and supplements and all these things that didn't really work. And I was trying to fix something, and I'm not realizing what the actual problem was. I was attacking it in the wrong way, if that makes sense. And I just kept going at it, but I was stressing myself out even more. And that caused me to crash even more, to the point where it got so bad where I couldn't even function mentally, like at work. Like, I couldn't talk to people. I had to sit in the dark at home. Like I could not function. Like it was awful. I couldn't even get out of bed some days. Like my legs stopped working. My eyesight was like getting really blurry. And I thought that I was losing my vision. I even went to see an eye doctor who gave me glasses. Like I thought it was the end. I really thought it was the end. And I was preparing for the worst. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. It's hard for me to put myself, because this is over a year now that I've recovered completely. And even then, even once in a while, like I get little mild things, symptoms that remind me of when it was, but because I have tools now to work with it, it goes away. But I kept trying all these different things and they wouldn't work. And I was just like, what's going on? And I had no idea. And the doctors couldn't tell me anything. And I went to YouTube and I found out that it was long COVID. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. So the first solution is to get into a mindset, some sort of mindset, working to change your mindset, because that's kind of what happens is you have to reprogram your mind. And there's a lot out there on that. So make sure you go to Raylan Eagle's channel and look into that. That's how I did. So I started reprogramming my thinking, and I realized that I was living in a place of fear. Right? So I was in the fear place, and I had to tell myself and tell my nervous system that I was safe. And that was the biggest thing, is I kept telling myself and reassuring myself that I was safe. I also got into a breathing practice. So make sure that you're looking into the breathing, because breath work is huge for me. Any of you who are struggling with the respiratory or the breathing stuff, 9 times out of 10, it's not your actual lungs. And even if it's your lungs that got damaged from the virus, with the nutrition that I recommend, you can heal that too. So, it's not like you're doomed, but people are doomed who are lost. And I'm trying to provide clarity on that. So because I thought I was going to have to go on disability and all these things, but it's not true. So if you want your life back, try some of these things that I'm suggesting, because this is how I was able to recover in 4 months. Like, it was a terrible 4 months, and it was longer than it ever should have been. I'm so angry at the fact that we have viruses like that can do this to us now, but there's actual solutions, right? We have solutions to get out of it. And the fact that I found that there was healing, I found so much hope. And that's what I want to get across more than anything, is that there's hope for you. You don't have to suffer. You're not going to suffer forever. I thought I was going to, and I'm not. Like, I'm fine. My breathing went back to normal. Everything went fine. All those random crazy symptoms I kept getting in different areas of my body, it was my nervous system was stuck in fight or flight. So brain retraining, breathing, meditation, depending on where you're at, yoga. But if you do yoga, do a very, very mild, like you're on the mat, like slowly, if you're trying to get, but don't do too much. Like, don't overload yourself. This is a time to rebuild. And it's a time to slow down and to slowly make progress. Like, even if you can only walk from your house to the mailbox the first day, and the second day you can walk maybe to the street past the mailbox, that's progress. You don't beat yourself up if you can't jog miles like you used to, right? Because I know a lot of us are high functioning too. I found that out. And that the fact is, you might be upset that you can't live the life that you love, like being highly active, being a highly successful person. Trust me, I know, but it will come back. It just takes time. You have to give yourself the time. That's really, really important. And don't stress yourself out more. I would be really careful with exercise, because when I would exercise, I would crash, and I'd be screwed up for weeks. So, take that with however you want to. And then diet. Like, I went to raw vegan food. I mean, that's how I heal people now, with my group coaching. And that's what I do, is I heal people through a vegan diet, high raw. And you have to have nutrients, because there's either leftover virus in your body, or mitochondria need to be repaired, or maybe both. Who knows? But the fact of the matter is, this is a time to empower your immune system and empower your cells in your body. And the best way to do that is with raw vegetables, specifically cruciferous vegetables. So I was making myself a 32-ounce kale smoothie every single day. At the time when I was going through this, I could not handle fruit sugar, so I limited the fruit, but I increased the vegetable like really high, and that really helped me move to a much better place really quickly. So it came in phases, right? Like I would feel like a little bit better, and it was just the healing process. It took time. So definitely number one is the brain retraining and the breath work and meditation. And then number two is nutrition. Don't bother with the supplements, you guys, because they didn't work for me. I don't believe that they work as much as the companies say they do. You really can get what you need from the diet and nutrition. It will take you longer to recover. This is what I truly believe if you have a poor diet. I'm a vegan. I've been vegan for 5 years, so I was vegan throughout this. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this video helped in some way. I hope that you gained some knowledge from this video that you can then apply to your own situation and that you can heal and recover. I hope that you found some tips. Remember to check out the channel, Raylan Eagle's channel, that I'm going to link in the description below for you. And just remember that there is hope and that you will recover. And I'm glad you found this channel. Thank you so much for watching.